All right, so we're trying to make some decisions here about this computer. I've got this MacBook Pro. It's an M1 Max with 64 gig of RAM. It's got a 4 terabyte hard drive in it, and I bought it way discounted a couple years ago. It was being blown out by B&H for like really quite a bit off, so that's how I wound up with it. But I'm trying to figure out what to upgrade to. I mean, you can get a Mac Mini, but they only make these things in they only make these things. You can't get the M1 Max processors in these things. You can get this one here and soup it up, I guess, but the hard drive's too small. I mean, all right, get this one here with the M4 Pro chip. But how does the M4 Pro chip compare to what I have now? And you certainly wouldn't want a 500 gigabyte hard drive. That is way too small. I mean, you know, you can't do that. Just don't do that. You have to get a bigger hard drive, okay? So don't even think about getting that hard drive. So if you want to get a 2 terabyte, you know, then you're getting up there. If you want a 4 terabyte, then you're getting up there to like $2,800. But are you better off just getting a MacBook Pro then, kind of like what I have now, but in order to get so you'd want a 16 inch because you wouldn't want the smaller one, so you'd have to get something fairly decent. And if you want the M4 Max processor, which I think you do, and you know how Macs are, you have to get the fastest one you can afford. So, all right, we'll get this one here. It's $4,000. That's a lot of money. But again, what size hard drive does this thing come with? 1 terabyte. Well, that's okay, but that's not really going to cut it. So you'd want to get a 2 terabyte at least, and that's probably not going to cut it. So you'd have to get a 4 terabyte. That's $5,000. That's a lot of money. So I don't know about that. No, we don't need Final Cut. We can always buy that later. So I don't know what to say. Is that worth it? I don't know. I'm trying to figure this out. What else can you get? Get the Mac Studio, right? Which is a true powerhouse, according to the website. As Apple says here, it's a true powerhouse. So let's see if we can buy a Mac Studio. But these things only come with the M2 processors. Well, do you really want to buy an M2 processor when they're on the M4 processor? Not really. So let's say you got this one here. Okay, we're going to get the one here, M2 Ultra, lots of cores. So what's this one here? That's even better. Now that's $5,000. That's a lot of money. And then you still have not much RAM. Your hard drive is pathetic at 1 terabyte. That's not going to work. So you'd want to get, like, that's a lot of money. That's $5,000. So I don't know what to do here. I'm trying to figure this out. Now, you can also go to B&H, and they have I think they have the MacBook Pros marked down there quite a bit. I'm not going to do that now because we're going to look at these MacBook Pros again here if this thing loads. Sorry about that. So again, 16 inch, we want the M4 Max processor. Gives me 2 options. Yeah, I mean, you can get this one here, I guess, for $4,000, but that's a pretty small hard drive. And right now I've got 64 gig of RAM. I don't really think these things use RAM like they used to, so I don't know how important the RAM is. But I mean, yeah, you'd want to get some RAM. So that puts you at $5,200. That's crazy. So which leads me to my next challenge here, which is what we're actually going to do, because I picked this up today. I've got one of these Crucial 4 terabyte external hard drives now that I kind of use as my main work drive. But we picked up another one, which is the Crucial X10. Now, this has twice the bus speed, 2100 megabits per second read, and about the same for write. So that's cool. But apparently these old Macs don't have the bus speed to take advantage of this fast hard drive. So that's a problem. But I couldn't resist a Cyber Monday deal or whatever it was. So I picked this thing up. Let's see what's in here. I use my extra large knife to open this up. But I need some advice on what to do as far as upgrading this machine. What I'm trying to do is upgrade my iMac, which is an old Intel machine that I bought. I think it was a refurb that I bought. It's pretty old. Now look at how small that is. Wow, check that out. That thing is like tiny. So USB-C, Thunderbolt, I don't understand what to do. Look at how small this drive is. My God. Look at that thing. How do you not lose that? That's insane. Look at how small that is. That might be what she said. Anyway, sorry about that. I couldn't resist. But look at this thing. That is miniature compared to my old one. Wow. That is interesting. I've seen people actually, you can hook this up to my Z9 and actually run this as storage on your Z9 while you're shooting. So we might do that. But what we're going to use this old Crucial drive for, this one here that you can't really see, is going to become my boot drive for the old iMac, Intel iMac. But I don't want to wipe out my operating system that I have on there now, because I still have a lot of programs I use that are old that no longer work on these Silicon Macs. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this as our main work from it drive, because it's just better that way to work from the main drive rather than this drive. And then after we're done with the projects, we transfer them to like deep storage, external drives, and then get backed up from there. So we always have copies of stuff laying around. But this old Crucial 4 terabyte SSD is going to become a startup drive for the iMac, which I think is a 2017 Intel machine. And again, I'm not booting up from the internal hard drive in that thing. I actually have an external 8 terabyte I've been booted up from. So that's what I've been using to boot up from. But I'm really torn about what to do about getting a new Mac here. I don't know if I should just pick up another laptop. I'm trying to replace this desktop that I have. But editing on these small laptops will drive you crazy, because the screens are just, you can't really get much done on these screens. I mean, I do it all the time because I have no choice when I'm on the road. But I need to get something to replace this Intel iMac at home for editing videos and other stuff like that. So I don't know what to do. I don't know if I should get another laptop and just hook an external monitor up to it. Let's put some light on for you guys here. I can figure out how to do it. If I should get an external laptop, external monitor, and hook it up to the laptop and boot up from that, or what? I don't really know what to do. So the big question is, how much faster is an M4 processor compared to the M1 Max that I currently have with 64 gig of RAM and a 4 terabyte hard drive? Not that that matters. That's my question. So if you have any thoughts on that, let me know. But we're going to test out this Crucial X10 portable SSD, which is amazingly small. It was on sale. I couldn't resist it. I don't know if it was cheap, but I think it's going to come in handy to do stuff with. So we're going to have to experiment with the Z9 on this thing and see what happens with the Z9 if I use this as an external device for the Z9. So we'll see about that. But give me your thoughts on these Macs. I don't know what to do. I mean, I could just get an external monitor, hook it up to this MacBook Pro and do that and not do anything. But I don't really know if I want to do that. But I could just do that. I could just get an external monitor, plug it into this machine, and maybe get a bigger hard drive to boot. Maybe I could do that. I don't know. Give me some thoughts on what you're thinking about these Macs. Apple has it all figured out. I mean, they know that if, why don't they make an iMac that has a decent processor in it? They don't. All they make is these iMacs. I mean, you can get an iMac that has the M4, just the M4 chip in it. You can't get an iMac with an M4 Max processor, an M4 Ultra processor. You have to go up to either the Mac Mini to get the M4 Pro, and then you'd have to go up to the Studio or the MacBook Pro to get a faster processor, which, I don't know how many cores I have now, but it's more than this thing has here, this iMac. I was originally going to just get an iMac with the M4 chip, but, it only has this many cores and all this stuff. So is that going to be fast enough? I mean, yeah, I would just get one of these iMacs max this out, 32 gig of RAM. Yeah, you'd have to get a 2 terabyte hard drive in it. So that's not horrible. $2,700. I mean, if you buy an Apple Studio monitor, that's going to cost you $1,500. So you're really getting the computer for $1,000, which isn't bad. So I don't know what to do. If you guys are Mac gurus, tell me what to do here. I'm not sure what to do. I'm kind of torn. I'd like to just get a different iMac, but I don't know if this M4 processor would be enough to do. I don't think it's going to be able to outperform my M1 Max MacBook Pro that I have now. So that's my big dilemma. But I also wanted to show off this drive that I got, and it is pretty small. It's pretty amazing. So we're going to see if we can hook this up to the Z9. I'm just going to plug it into the Z9 and see what happens, I think. So, all right. That's it. Sorry for the rambly video. I'm a little confused about what to do about these computers. So if you have any thoughts, let me know. I mean, would this iMac here be fast enough to do, export 300-400 photos from, what am I using now these days? Capture One. I use Mojave to do videos sometimes. I use Wondershare to do videos sometimes. Probably will pick up a copy of Final Cut Pro. I haven't used that in like 10 years. Just didn't want to get an old copy, so I may pick one of those up. But let me know if you think that this M1 Mac, what is comparable to my M1 Max MacBook Pro with 64 gig of RAM? What can I get that's equivalent to that or faster? Because with Apple, you always want to try and outlive their updates because they have it all figured out. Someone there really has this stuff figured out. All right, thanks for watching the rambly video. Not the kind of video I normally do, but I need some computer advice, so let me know. May do this before the year ends for tax purposes. All right, later. Thanks for watching.